Okay, so this past weekend there was a matchup between the Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills. Okay, now the part that we're going to watch is the altercation or interaction, however you want to call it, between Shilo and Zach Davidson. Now we're going to look at this thing from various angles because angles do matter. And in this particular case, it's very critical to look at angles. Okay, so let's take a look at the first angle.
That's the tight end, Zach Davidson.
Okay, let's look at it again.
That's the tight end, Zach Davidson.
Okay, now with that particular angle, it looked like Davidson was just blocking, or, y'all, forgive me if I don't know what they call it in football. It looked like he was doing what he was supposed to do. And it looked like Shilo got upset and just punched him, okay, from this particular angle. Now, let me show you another angle, and let's get into that. Let's watch it again. Let's watch it again. I'm going to freeze it. Okay. Now, notice on this part here, let's kind of go back a little. Notice how Zach Davidson is not only pushing Shilo's face with one hand, his right hand, but he first pushes from underneath with the left hand, okay? And pushing his head, he could have pushed his neck as well to the side hard, okay? It wasn't like a quick little accident. And then he accidentally pulled, I think in this whole tussle, his mask also. Now, my thing is this. Why are we not calling that part out? Everyone wants to call out the punch, but did the refs not see that part? Because no one is going to sit there and let you pretty much doing the same move, except with Davidson's move, his fist was not balled, okay? But he also should have been called out for unnecessary roughness. Okay, let's take a look again. Here it comes. Okay, and to me, it also looked like he was trying to hurt him. Okay, that could have hurt him pushing his neck that far. Okay, and then watch after he pushes him, his reaction. Davidson. So he wasn't even hurt. He wasn't even hurt. He's looking like, I told you so. Look, pointing back. Okay? He's pointing back like, look, I told y'all, look. Let's watch it again. He was waiting. Look at that. Look at that. And that's a natural, to me, y'all, that's a natural reflex. Okay, look. And he grabbed his mask too, his helmet. Okay? Yeah, we needed to see that at different angles because that part matters. He should have had a similar consequence for doing that part first. But I guess maybe the refs didn't see that. Y'all only saw the reaction. Okay, all because Shilo has had a previous altercation. He has all anger issues. He's attacking this other player. Okay? Yeah, let's get into the conversation. Now, Shilo has had a tough year, y'all, dating back to an off-season injury that had hampered the former Colorado Buffalo's final collegiate season. Then it just got tougher on Sunday when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers cut him. Now, this cost the franchise just $1,572, okay? It is a $1,572 decision. And that's an unusually low guarantee that Tampa Bay paid out. Now, after Shilo had hope at the beginning of the season, even talking about a leadership role, then this happened, okay? Now, Shilo punched the tight end Zach Davidson right in front of the referee and was ejected on Saturday night. Now, this was just hours before his release, okay? Brent Scroton, y'all can't say that man's last name, Scroton? I'm learning new stuff. He believes returning to Tampa or finding an NFL career elsewhere is still in the cards for Shilo. Okay, now he didn't get selected in the NFL draft in April, but he signed with the team as an undrafted free agent soon afterward. And he was listed as a third-string safety before Saturday's pre-game season, okay? But his NFL hopes are still alive. He could get signed to the team's practice squad Wednesday, or he could catch on with another team that's a better fit. And allegedly, I'm not sure how true this is, allegedly Jerry Jones is even considering him for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, don't quote me on that, but I did read that in an article. Y'all just never know with Jerry. My husband said he's a little stubborn, okay? Now, Todd Bowles, he sounded frustrated with Shilo's impulsiveness, but he's been a proponent of the 25-year-old all summer. The kind of mistakes Sanders tend to make, coupled with the potential he possesses as an active tackler and locker room hype leader, make him a perfect practice squad dice roll. If nothing else, a team will have more intense practices with Sanders around. Now, let me show you all a quote from his coach, okay? Let's take a look at that. In this organization, discipline is paramount, and anyone who fails to respect that will pay a heavy price. I won't tolerate behavior like that. This is a warning, not just to Shilo, but to everyone in this team. Now, and I agree with that, you know, some of the statements that he made, but I also want to know, did he see that at every angle? Okay? Because to me, I don't think anyone is holding the other guy accountable, Davidson accountable. I really don't. I feel like there's already this thing about Shilo from his court cases, that previous assault, you know, that happened in high school. Some people I've even seen say, oh, he has anger issues and needs anger management. And you know, when people have that perceived or a preconceived image of you, then they will use that to justify anything, okay? They don't even look at the current situation, but because maybe that's happened in the past or you're dealing with something, then they use that. The enemy also knows your weakness, okay? And will use that weakness at the right moment. So let's say this is just a scenario, and Zach Davidson knew that he was a hothead. He knew that that was Deion Sanders' son. What if he did that, knowing that that could be a possible way to get him to react in that way, okay? Now, of course, no one can control you. You do have to learn how to control yourself. But in that particular instance, it looked like self-defense, Okay, it really did. Now I'm all for good sportsmanship and all of that, but no one is calling out the other behavior. This post on Facebook, and it says, let's talk about it because I'm curious of others' opinion on this. My husband broke it down for me last night, and I agree with his logic and opinion. The media has been featuring Shilo and Shador Sanders throughout the draft, training camp, and the preseason. They have had little or no obstacles in their sports careers because their dad has been their coach and critic for most, if not all, of their football career. Did he properly prepare them for this? What are your thoughts? Well, first, we don't know for sure if they've had little or no obstacles in their sports careers. A lot of times we see things out in the public but don't know the behind the scenes stories that people have that make them shine and are great when they get into the limelight. So that part, we really don't know. Also, did he properly prepare them as a parent? We can properly prepare our children throughout, their lives, but like I said earlier, when they become grown-ups, they're responsible for their own decisions. You can teach them right from wrong, you can go over scenarios, but in the heat of the moment, you can't force them to do anything because you're not there in their shoes. They have to then make the right choice. And so, yes, he has probably discussed this. We have to also understand that, after this, I'm pretty sure they're going to have more conversations. That is it's a process to this, okay? We don't just teach our children one time and forget about it. No, after they've done something, we talk to them. How can you do that differently the next time, and so forth. And so, yes, he may have properly prepared them for all types of things, but in the heat of the moment, in this situation, like I said, this does not look like just, a normal situation where he just punched someone because he got upset. No, we have to look at this thing from all angles, okay? He was, in my opinion, provoked. And pretty much, I wonder if he was targeted, okay? Because he is Deion Sanders' son. Now, as far as him punching, no, I don't agree with that. You have to use some type of discipline. But I also believe that if he got ejected, then the other, Zach Davidson, should have gotten ejected as well. And I was discussing this with my husband earlier. What happened to, I guess, the chain of consequences? Because it went straight from an ejection to no longer on the team. Like, was he not given the courtesy? I don't know if courtesy is the right word, but to get a fine, ejected and get a fine. Okay, I guess they left that out, that part, but no, it went straight from injection to you're no longer a part of this team. Okay, it's a big jump. Yeah, so that's my answer, I think, to her question in this post.
So, since this event happened, Shilo has come out and made a statement. He said, I let my emotions get the best of me, and there is no excuse for that. I respect the league, respect the rules, and I'll learn from this mistake. And I'm glad that he has taken some level of accountability and that he will learn from this mistake. Also, his dad, Deion Sanders, made a statement, and he had 2 words: trust God. Okay, and those 2 words are powerful enough. I believe that when God closes one door, another door will open. And there are possibilities of Shilo pretty much continuing his sports career. Recently, the Toronto Argonauts have added Shilo's name to their negotiation list. Also, we've heard of Jerry Jones allegedly or possibly trying to get him for the Dallas Cowboys team. Okay, we don't know how true that is, but I did see that in an article today. And then also there's a possibility of him playing on the practice squad with the Buccaneers. So I don't think that it's over. My prayers are with Shilo in this situation, and that he will learn from the mistakes. But I also believe that we need to hold all parties accountable, okay, and really see things from various angles. So let me know y'all's thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you hit that like button. Also subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell, because you never know when I'm going to go live. If you would like to support the channel, you're welcome to send a super thanks or a Cash App or buy a coffee, and those links are in the description field of this video. Thank you so much for watching today, and have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.
You just flip through truth with the open book. If you felt that heat, like, share, and stay locked in. Another chapter done, but we far from finished. Truth on the mic, yeah, we handle business. Real talk, no fluff, just facts and fire. From the book to the block, we taking it higher. The open book, every voice matters, every lie shatters. Catch you next page.